Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I am Amit Raheja, working as assistant professor in AISSMS IIT Pune. Today we will learn about friction. Friction is a force that opposes the motion of two surfaces that are in contact with each other. In the image given below, you can observe a person is applying force on the object, and friction acting in the opposite direction of the motion is shown with the red arrow acting in the opposite direction of the motion, that is in the left hand side direction, whereas the motion is taking place in the right hand side. In the second image given below, you can observe that friction is different for different surfaces. Both the person, they are coming down the slope. One, in the A image, he is coming down on the slope but on a snow surface, and the other, he is coming down the slope on not a snow surface, basically a grass surface having grass. So friction is different for different surfaces. So let us see the different types of friction. First is dry friction or Coulomb friction. The second is fluid friction. You can further classify dry friction or Coulomb friction as static friction and kinetic friction. So static friction is the force exerted on one surface by another when there is no motion between the two surfaces. For example, in the image given on the left, you can see the force applied to the couch is balanced by the static friction force. So the couch doesn't move. Whereas in the second image, if we push harder enough, the couch will begin to move and the kinetic friction will act on it. So kinetic friction is exerted on one surface by another when the two surfaces rub against each other because one or both of them are moving. So what are the causes of friction? Matter is not as smooth on its surface as it appears to be. Tiny irregularities are there on the surface. So, on smooth surfaces, the atoms can come so close to each other that there are electrical forces acting between them. And while sliding, the objects even face a jerk as bonds or jags are broken. So over here in the image, we will observe that when we are applying force on the object, at that moment immediately static frictional force is generated as the object is not moving. So this is the, in the right hand side, you can observe the free body diagram of the object, weight of the object acting in downward direction, force that P applied acting in the right hand direction, and a normal reaction is generated from the surface on which it is kept, whereas the frictional force is acting in the direction opposite to the direction of motion, that is in the left hand side direction. In the graph given below, you can observe uh, applied force and the frictional force. As we apply force on the object will not move until and unless we overcome the limiting frictional force or the static frictional force value. So the nature of the graph is seen to increase at 45 degrees. Once we reach the limiting frictional force value or the maximum static friction force value, the object will start to move. As we overcome that value, the object will start to move, and once it comes in motion, the applicable frictional force reduces slightly and remains constant until the object is being applied by the force. So coefficient of friction, it is basically the ratio of the limiting frictional force, that is the F max value, and the normal reaction, and it is a constant. So mu s is given by F max divided by the normal reaction, whereas the ratio of kinetic frictional force and the normal reaction is also a constant, and that is called as coefficient of kinetic friction. Now, kinetic friction and the normal friction variation can be seen from this graph. Frictional force depends on the materials that the surfaces are made of. So it is different for all the surfaces. We can also observe the same in the table given below. For glass, on glass, when you apply or when you keep two glass surfaces one upon each other, so the coefficient of static friction that will be acting between the two glass surfaces will be 0.94, and once they are moving, the coefficient of kinetic friction changes to 0.4. So this is the variation that we can observe in static and kinetic coefficient of friction for the same surfaces kept one upon another. So laws of friction. The frictional force is always tangent to the contact surface and acts opposite to the direction of motion. The value of the frictional force increases as the magnitude of the applied disturbing force increases till it reaches the limiting value of the friction, that is the F max value. At this limiting stage, the body is on the verge of motion. The ratio of limiting frictional force and the normal reaction is a constant and is referred to as coefficient of static friction, whereas the ratio of kinetic frictional force and the normal reaction is also constant and it is referred to as coefficient of kinetic friction, mu k. The frictional force generated between the two running surfaces is independent of the area of contact. Very important point to remember. Frictional force doesn't depend on the area of contact. It depends on the roughness or the smoothness of the surfaces. So angle of friction. Now imagine the object having weight W and being applied by the external force P. The free body diagram of such an object is shown over here. The frictional force is as obvious acting in the opposite direction to the motion. Normal reaction is shown. Weight of the object acting in downward direction is shown, and P4, that is the applied force, is also shown. So angle of friction. It is the angle made by the resultant of the limiting frictional force F max and the normal reaction N with the normal reaction. So in the figure or the free body diagram given below, we can observe frictional force and the normal reaction. If we calculate the resultant of these two forces, that resultant makes an angle with the normal reaction. So that angle is called as angle of friction. So from the diagram, we can say tan phi is equal to F max upon N, which is mu s into N divided by the normal reaction. So tan phi is equal to mu s, or phi is equal to tan inverse of mu s, that is coefficient of static friction. Cone of friction. In the same diagram, if we rotate the resultant in 360 degrees, so it will produce, or the edge of the resultant will produce a right circular cylinder, and its edge will produce a semi-angled surface having a angle phi. So this phi is nothing but the cone of friction. So this resultant, as it rotates, will show or represent a cone of friction. Now let us see what is the significance of the cone of friction. The significance of the cone of friction is that for the static body where resultant force acts at right angle, acts at the right contact surface lies within the cone, while for a static body on the verge of motion, the reaction force lies on the surface of the cone of friction. So if the object is on the verge of motion, then the reaction force will lie on the edge of the cone. Whereas if it is in static condition, then the reaction force will be within the cone. Then angle of repose. It is defined as the minimum angle of inclination of a plane with the horizontal, for which a body kept on it will just slide down on it without the application of any external force. So this is angle of repose. Thank you.